Oops, too late on risking women's reproductive health care.
Approve this message.
That's Patty Murray approving the message. Hi, this is Alex. Doomed Planet, the this season obituaries, episode number 72. It's Friday, June 24th. The Supreme Court officially overturned Roe versus Wade, and we are watching the NBC Nightly News, hopefully mostly with the sound off. And I know I'm not going to get through it all, but there's our big graphic. Roe v. Wade overturned. A montage of a hospital bed with stirrups. A handful of protesters in front of the court. Jackson's Women's Health Organization painted pink. Joe Biden in front of the lectern with his mouth open. Vote with the American flag. Equal justice under law. Image of the Supreme Court. Another scary hospital shot. Another scary shot of Clarence Thomas. Yeah. Oh, also a bipartisan gun bill passed. There's Nancy Pelosi. Good news. We now have sane gun control. President Zelensky, one-on-one. There he is. In an interview, the guy is shorter than Putin. Being short is fine, but it's embarrassing. He's wearing tennis shoes, fatigues, and this style pioneered by gay men about 10 years ago. So like you work out and you wear a t-shirt that's 2 sizes too small for you. And there is Lester Holt, respectable man of the Nightly News. Again, embarrassing. The NBC Nightly News has fallen. The demographic, as we will see when commercials come on, are, elderly boomers who need lots of designer drugs. 5-4 decision. Look at all those states with trigger laws. Hillbilly chud states that I hope to never visit again. And egregiously wrong from the start. Quoting from the right-wing justices. There's Lester. Breaking news. Roe v. Wade overturned. He's in front of his NBC desk with a reflective glass top. Now, at the Supreme Court, they don't say that this is live, but you got protesters, mostly people dressed in khakis, no one carrying torches or pitchforks or being that angry. We saw earlier today there are snipers on the roof of the Supreme Court, but the image they just showed did not show the snipers. It's kind of, shot earlier and put into this montage. And of course, they're giving equal time to the chuds. Abortion is murder. Okay, I know, giving extra time to the angry Roe people. Like, where have you been? What did you think was going to happen? How did these right-wing chud justices, how did 3 of them sneak in during Trump? What was going, I wish this podcast was about conspiracy theories because there's a lot going on there. Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, Barrett, the other chud, right-wing majority. They keep showing these gynecological hospital chairs with like stirrups. And we got people marching in the street, but innocuous, weird, disassembled images, like out of context. They're not showing, huge crowds marching in the streets. They're also not showing great stuff that we saw on Twitter today. Heavily armed pigs with Captain America shields and full riot gear marching to the Supreme Court to protect it. There's another shot of the fucking abortion. They keep zooming in on the abortion chair. And okay, that was a shot of 2 lesbians getting married. There's Clarence Thomas. He's the ugliest motherfucker to walk the planet, inside and out. Like he's scared. I'd like to see pictures of him as a kid. Maybe not though, because he's so fucking monstrous. Then we have this map of the United States, the red states and the sort of sane states. Great shot of Brett Kavanaugh grinning with those beer teeth. So, yeah, they're going for a long time with this lead story today. It must be very important. From the very moment of fertilization, a woman has no rights to speak of, comes a quote from the decision. NBC News. Here's an expert, Nancy Northup, Center for Reproductive. Well, you lost. We didn't fight hard enough. We didn't take to the streets. We thought, just vote them out. Voting. Voting will get Hillary in there. We're so confident she will win. And, don't let any of these ancient Supreme Court justices retire, even though they've had cancer twice and are in their 80s, because Hillary will win and you can retire triumphantly. Then, Pete Williams, NBC News Justice correspondent. Imagine he's a Beltway insider with access to whatever. Trigger laws take effect. Back to that pink painted abortion clinic in Jackson, Women's Health Organization. And here we have an image of the chuds in front of the place. There's a decades-long campaign. Shit, my fucking marinara sauce is on high because I was going to cook it and then start the show. Okay, time out. We'll be back in a second. Okay, I turned off the stove. I've got some marinara sauce with spicy Italian sausage. I started that by putting some garlic confit in a pan, adding a little more olive oil, and then some more thinly sliced garlic. Then I put in my tomatoes and the Italian sausage that I had pre-cooked and then sliced thin, oregano, red pepper, little tiny bit of sugar. Some states move to ban abortion. Wow, this is shocking. Now they're going to go to the person on the street interview. Now we're looking at some smug Philip Gunn, Mississippi Speaker of the House, Republican. What a smug fucking motherfucker. Then Governor Ned Lamont, a Democrat of Connecticut. Well, he's befuddled. What could be happening? There are several befuddled middle-aged women standing behind him. Again, this is Doom Planet, the podcast, episode number 72. We are an obituary podcast, but if Roe v. Wade is dead, even temporarily, that is an obituary. It's Friday, June 24th. Supreme Court of Chuds with a Chud majority announced today that Roe v. Wade has been thrown out. It made Twitter very exciting today. You have your sane people on there and then deluded shit libs that are like, oh, you should have voted for Hillary. It all comes to that. And what Putin did this. Putin's men took out $500,000 in Facebook ads to overturn Roe v. Wade. That is what happened. Okay, more. So this is a lead story that NBC News joined the pink abortion clinic again. They got a correspondent on the ground at the pink painted abortion clinic in Jackson. And she's very serious. I mean, this is serious shit. I think my wife, who happens to be female, is upset about this. And it's all happening so fast. I haven't been able to properly. She's like, why didn't you post more on Twitter? Well, yeah. Why don't you take to the streets with the fucking torch is really what she should be saying. And she's right. I'm not doing that. Actually having some back issues tonight. But yeah, we will see. It's just really, when they outlaw food, then people will take to the streets. I mean, I guess our population of sheep will put up with anything, but just wait till they run out of food and fucking Arby's is closed. Then you got your fucking revolution. Here's Joe Biden. A sad day for the nation, says geriatric Slow Joe. He really is he's almost 80 years old. I mean, it's criminally insane that these leading Democrats, Pelosi is in her 80s. She apparently said a prayer today during a press conference. There's Kevin McCarthy, House Minority Leader. Some smug fuckers in the background. So many women. I mean, I get smug fucking Republican men, but there's so many women with the smugness on their faces. And here we go to some of these justices testifying for their confirmation hearings. Kavanaugh, and Susan Collins is shocked that they lied during their confirmation hearings, which is a felony, by the way, perjury. Okay, NBC News keeps going back to that hospital bed. They're like trying to frighten women. They keep going back to this shot of this abortion table where you might have been able to get an abortion in these right-wing hillbilly states, but no longer. 63% of an NBC News poll said that Roe should not be overturned. And here, despicable Kamala Harris, a person with the vice president with no power, almost none, other than that the Senate is closely tied. And she's always looking so smug, so always grinning when she talks. She's so out of touch. When she ran for president, right, she didn't win a single delegate. Biden warns more rights in danger. Is this a this is a Paul Verhoeven movie? I can't imagine that the Democrats are not going to get wiped out during the midterms. I mean, this is yet another reason their failure to fix this problem, to, get their people on the Supreme Court to, can't they do something where they just vote abortion rights into law? They control the presidency, the House, the Senate, more or less. I mean, the Democrats are the disgrace today. Yeah, far right radical QAnon Republicans, yeah, fine. At least they're honest. They've got millions of rubes to vote for them who aren't rich, but at least they're honest. Basically, Mitch McConnell, the leadership, tax cuts for the rich, throw the right-wing Christo-fascist assholes some abortion thing, and tax cuts for the rich. That's all they stand for. And Democrats stand for nothing. They promise you nothing. They give you nothing. There's another shot of the hospital bed. 300,000 plus abortions, 26 states, many of them red. Choose to cross state lines. Crossing state lines. What does that mean, really? NBC Nightly News has gone full on with this story for 15 minutes, which does not make up for the equal time that they have given, as no longer required by law from the FCC, the equal time that they have given to so many right-wing anti-choice gargoyles over the years. Abortion travel expected to surge. Imagine dystopic business opportunities of our age. There's another fucking hospital bed. They keep showing it. The producer, director of this segment, the longest segment to ever run on NBC Nightly News, is they're just like throw in a menacing picture of the hospital bed where abortions are performed every couple minutes. Or here's another spokesperson, a talking head. Eerie painting in her background was eerie. It was out of focus, but it was like dripping blood. There's another hospital bed shot with the MRI. And here is Lester Holt. He's wearing a purple tie with a purple plaid scarf in his suit. Oh no, Wayfair is like IKEA, but you order it online and then they deliver the stuff, and the stuff is better than IKEA. But I mean, what do you know, no one gets, except the very rich, of course, gets some carpenter to hand make, bespoke furniture just for them. So, If you can graduate from IKEA to Wayfair, and full disclosure, my family has done that. And here we have car insurance, Flow from progressive.com. So you're required to have car insurance. This might be an unpopular opinion, but you should have liability insurance too if you own a fucking gun. Yes, I own a gun. I'm not a gun nut. I don't own guns, but I believe, own a gun, but go through a rigorous process to get that gun, and then you need insurance. It ain't going to be cheap, chuds, hillbilly motherfuckers who are too stupid to realize that they are dupes, stooges in this right-wing war on everybody who is not rich. Congress passes bipartisan gun safety bill. Okay. So after the 17 minutes, the longest opening segment in NBC News, Nightly News history, I'm making that up, but it's possible. Now we're going to the gun safety bill. Guess what? I'm going to shout out to Brian from Mechanical Freak for this. He's an expert on policing and the history of policing. This bipartisan gun safety bill provides more money for cops, for school cops. Who knows? I don't want to break this to people. There were not cops in schools when I was in school, in high school, middle school. The principal, just like on The Simpsons, at my school was a deranged Vietnam vet, and the administration were fascists, and a couple of the teachers were fascists, but there's no fucking armed cop at the fucking school. Ooh, Ozempic. Now we get to the commercials. Diabetes pills. Majority reached lowers levels of stroke. Here's a guy, pet adoption. He's adopting a dog. People doing yoga. So why has advertising sucked so badly for so long, and why is it all so fake? Every shot, some movie and TV shows are like this too, but every shot looks like it's the break of dawn with the perfect lighting right in the morning, and everyone's so happy because they're on Ozempic. Is that a brain thing? Call your provider if you have symptoms such as stomach cancer. Common side effects of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. A woman in front of a Ferris wheel. Ozempic Trizone. It's a triptych of 3 people taking Ozempic. Pays little. Oh, here's a TV commercial. Monster problem. Person typing shit. Miro. Solve anything together with Miro. Tip from a former smoker.
COPD. My tip is, if you keep smoking, your freedom may only go as far as your oxygen tube.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
I like how they say in that commercial, smoking makes COVID-19 worse. It's a disgusting new commercial for Tums where a 6-foot burrito is walking through the airport, and a woman goes and hugs the burrito because she has a bottle of Tums in her hand. It's an ad for Verizon. I think, don't like 3 or 4 companies control 80% of the cable business, like where you get your internet and phone service? Ooh, the iPhone 13 is on us. There's a wonderful petty bourgeois African-American family ready for that plan. And now BioAspirin, a German company that makes, they used to make heroin, aspirin. Oh, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin. Why do you have to advertise for aspirin? Eggland's best dog break. Remember 2 years ago, the first year of this podcast, it was like a dog break. What? Oh, that is literally my kid coming home. Wow, we have to actually pause for a dog break. The fucking kid doesn't even have keys to the house. Hold on.
Number one, every time I get a face tattoo, I think before I get it. So removing a laser tattoo removal on my face, that just means I took a fat L and I gave up on my dreams. I will never laser remove my tattoos at all. I put these tattoos with a good mind and that's just me. You feel me? This is my image. I will never remove them. I'm not scary. Don't try me like that.
So I was doing my podcast and I got interrupted by some teenage chodes. And so now we're going to force them to be interviewed on the podcast. Where is Liam? What I was doing is like blogging while watching NBC News with the sound off. And then they're commenting on Roe versus Wade. But you, 16-year-old, do you know what the Roe versus Wade is?
Nope.
He's eating cheddar ruffles. And you, 16-year-old, also communist teen on an earlier episode of this podcast. Any opinion? And your mom is probably listening to this.
Not to embarrass my friend Alton or anything, but I do, in fact, know what Roe v. Wade is. Right. Yep.
And it was overturned today.
Yes, catastrophic. It will mean the deaths of many poor people.
Good. That's a good way to think of it. Alton, any final comments?
No, not really.
So we have some teenager, it's a privileged life we lead here. We have some teenagers. We're out somewhere because it's Seattle. They're walking around, amongst $1 million houses. Okay, final comment. Roe v. Wade, what does a 16-year-old kid think of that being overturned?
I think it's horrible, and it's going to lead to some pretty horrible things. It's also probably going to lead to a lot of people from states where abortion is made illegal coming out to Seattle and to California and more blue states.
Which that actually is positive, although what if you don't have money and you can't just fly to Seattle for $1,000 or whatever?
Yeah, that's going to be pretty hard for a lot of people, a lot of low-income people who can't afford to do that. And it's probably going to cause, people are going to get abortions anyways, and it's probably going to cause them to do it, it's going to cause them to do it more unsafely.
Do you think as young men who might be sexually active in the coming years, do you feel lucky that you live in like a state where abortion is legal so you don't have to worry about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel pretty lucky.
Okay. Like if we were in Mississippi right now, what would be the plan? So good, a good intelligent end to the good comment of thing. And I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to pause this and then wrap up what I'm doing. And serendipitous that you get some teenage kids coming in here. Okay, well, this has been episode number 72 of the Doomed Planet podcast. R.I.P. Roe v. Wade. I'm standing in the backyard of a modest suburban Seattle home that is now worth a fortune because of a real estate bubble. There's a couple rabbits out here eating our lawn, and I think I'm onto something here. I've tried doing the mobile microphone before, but kind of live blogging over TV with the sound turned off is good. And then, the spontaneity of having some teenagers come in, that was good. And I think what I need to get is a lava mic so I can just stick it on my shirt and walk around. I'm holding like the studio mic on a mic stand. The other good news I mentioned, I got a new computer, sort of new. It's from 2015, replaces my computer from 2009. So I'm recording some music and stuff using GarageBand, but I have claimed that I'm going to be producing the podcast in GarageBand. That was not the case. I'm using Adobe Audition, something that audio professionals, a lot of them might use, and just using GarageBand to fuck around and make music and stuff. All right, this has been Alex. Stay safe out there. If you're going to protests, there's a lot of information online of what you should do to participate in that correctly. Don't bring your phone. Number one, never talk to a cop. Goodbye.
Trust me, you will regret it. If I were you, you should remove it with laser.
No. Because, number one, every time I get a face tattoo, I think before I get it. So, removing a laser tattoo removal on my face, that just means I took a fat L and I gave up on my dreams. I will never laser remove my tattoos at all. I put these tattoos with a good mind and that's just me. You feel me? This is my image. I would never remove them. I'm not scary. Don't try me like that.